the third game, you got back into footy and pretty much started where it was forgotten. But for those 6 weeks, or how long it went for, it was the best 6 weeks. It was intense. It was a great time, and you really got to play in the best arenas with the best players.
Unpredictable.
Fittler throws the dummy and scores! New South Wales are over for number 4. Feeder for New South Wales player. Fittler's into the space. They're going to run him down. He'll get to the halfway line and then pull down about 5 minutes.
You'd only started in 7 first-grade games when you made your debut in 1990. It was down in Melbourne. What was that like?
I can't say overwhelmed, because I think everything when I was a kid, from what I remember, it didn't sort of really faze me too much, and maybe youth helped me out in that way. And I remember going on, I had 10 minutes, I think I had one run with the ball, jumped it, stepped across a couple of blokes, got tackled. I remember Ricky Stewart taking an intercept in that game and running about 70 odd metres. Other than that, not much at all.
You've always come across as a bloke who just takes things in his stride. How pumped up do you get for an Origin battle?
I think you just got to get really focused. I think if you get too pumped up, I've never really been one to get too pumped up, and I'm not sure if that'd work for me, but you just got to really get focused. And through the week, sometimes you got to question yourself. Am I at the pace where I want to be, and am I in the zone? Am I getting there? Am I short? Or you keep asking yourself questions, and I just try to keep sort of getting back to my game and make sure I've got my game in order, what I got to do, and that normally gets me back into me sort of mode that I like to be.
Close to their own line.
You might not have seen... Oh, here's an intercept and a try, and State of Origin 1994. Brad Fittler scores the try.
What about a single moment in a match that's been a highlight for you? It's not exactly, you haven't been a try-scoring machine, but you've got 7 tries, a couple of field goals, 13 times as captain. Is there, at a personal level, is there one moment that makes you proud?
Well, I think following Marco Merley and scoring that try in the last game, it's something that I wouldn't normally do, and it was a great moment. And also holding up a trophy. It's always special to hold up a trophy.
It may sound a strange question, but does it feel like you've played 28 Origins, that you've been a part of 11 years of Origin football?
No, I think early on when we played in the sides, in the 92, 93, 94 sides, that was such a breeze, Those group of blokes in that time that was the best football team I'd played in. They were awesome. Everyone really aimed up, did their job. Everyone bonded together well when we had a drink. Everyone trained hard when we trained. You never had to pull someone into line. Everyone knew their role. And it was just the nicest football team to play in, And you had Laurie Daly was our captain, and he was just inspirational every time. And I sort of got that same sort of feeling last year as well, where every now and then you just get these special teams. And last year we had a special team. We had everyone playing at their peak. We had such a talented group of players, and we all moulded really well. So they're the ones that stand out. And it's hard to say how many think I've played, but it feels a lot. It feels like, I forget the beginning, the ones in the beginning. I'm just sort of, I can only really remember the last couple.
So this is it? The last Origin camp, the last time you left the blue jumper on your back?
Yeah, definitely. I've said it to myself, and it feels right.
If you could be totally selfish, what would be the perfect end for you?
2 minutes to go, take the ball to the line, dummy, go, step the fullback, pump.
Well, that pretty much sums up Brad Fittler. I guess over the years, a lot of people have sat in judgment of his football. Many agree he's one of the best ever. But as a bloke, I think he's an absolute champion. I mean, I love the bloke dearly. Had a lot to do with him. Wishing him the 100% the best for tonight. I'm sure it'll be a winning game for New South Wales and a great game for Brad Fittler, and he thoroughly deserves the send-off that he's going to get.
I don't know Brad particularly well, but I've got to say that he's matured incredibly both on and off the field. And, that's a sign of character, and that's probably the greatest thing about a footballer.
Yeah, great player, great bloke, and even as a Queenslander, Brad, I wish you all the best tonight. Have a good one, get some great memories out of it. We'll take a break and come back and finish up here at ANZ.
This program brought to you by Victoria Bitter, for a hard-earned thirst.
G'day, Terry Holsworth. I own the Jennings Hotel in northern New South Wales.
I'm Kevin Butler. I own the Wollongara Hotel in southern Queensland.
Jennings and Wollongara sit side by side on the border.
And that's what makes things interesting around here on Origin nights.
I had topless service behind the bar for Origin 2. Oh, I copped heaps after Origin 2. They gave me an absolute bag and they were going to burn me jumper even.
And I decked out my pub in blue. I'm a blue. That's it.
And your pub's in Queensland.
That's what makes things interesting around here.
Got some big things planned for Origin 3. Can't tell you too much at this stage, in case Kevy pinches it off me. But we've got Chad Morgan playing before the game.
Some bloody cane toads are so one-eyed they won't even drink in your pub.
Hang on, you're the one with the pub in Queensland.
Not so bad for me, is it? Unlike the Maroons last time.
Brilliant football! Absolutely brilliant! Lock is away! Barrett! Oh! Well, what about the Queenslanders? Higginson's in space! Higginson's over! Webke! And Eights go! Into the try! The Blues are over! Barrett's over! And O'Reilly! Fittler! There's the try for Walker! And there's the punch up! Fittler will go there! State of Origin 2 will go to the Blues!
Now we're down to a decider.
Whichever way it goes, someone here is going to be unhappy tonight.
It's going to be you, mate.
No, it's going to be you, mate.
You're going down.
Not tonight.
Get your tissues out.
No, the Blues tonight.
No way.
Yeah.
You're gone.
No.
Yes, you are.
The 2001 Harvey Norman State of Origin Series. The Decider. Live and exclusive on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Hello and welcome to State of Origin game number 3, the decider for season 2001. Tonight, with Lang Park undergoing renovation, Origin football is making its debut here at Brisbane's ANZ Stadium. And after 21 years, just when you think rugby league's greatest rivalry has exhausted all of its surprises, Origin produces another twist to its tale. For New South Wales, confirmation that match winner Trent Barrett had lost his injury battle and would be replaced by Brett Camorley was big news. And of course, it marks the farewell for Blues skipper Brad Fittler playing his 29th and final Origin game. But the boldest headlines were claimed by Queensland coach Wayne Bennett, and perhaps the biggest selection call in Origin history, the restoration of Alan Langer to the maroon jersey. Little wonder then that fans have turned out in their numbers tonight to watch what should be an epic conclusion to this series. And it has been a great build-up, a lot of emotion, but that's always the case with Origin. And Paul Vorton, welcome to you. What are your expectations?
I'm expecting a game tonight, Pete, that we'll be talking about for years to come. The finale of the State of Origin season this year is for the decider between Queensland and New South Wales. And over the past couple of days, people have been coming up to me saying, Fatty, can we win? Can Queensland do it? What about Alf? How's he going to play? I don't know the answers to any of those questions, Pete. Alan Langer won't win or lose us this game. The forwards around him might, and they need to pick up the Queensland forwards. They didn't play that well in that second game. And for New South Wales, Brad Fittler playing his 29th and last State of Origin. How will he play? Will he be the man of the match? Will he produce one of those fantastic games we know that Brad can? The stage is set, Pete, for a magnificent game of rugby league.
You're excited.
I'm pretty excited. I am excited.
Now, winner takes all tonight. It's a huge night for the 34 players and 2 coaches involved. We have a look at now at the Queensland side arriving. How much of a plus for them to come and play in front of this home crowd?
it's massive. I mean, Wally Lewis still talks about the night that Arthur Beetson ran out in front of 35,000 Queenslanders at Lang Park in 1980. This will be the same tonight. When Alan Langer hits this field, this ground will erupt, and it's going to help not just Alan Langer but the rest of those players, young and old alike.
Now, New South Wales, they would be very confident after game 2. They're arriving. They had Jimmy Barnes on the bus last time. I wouldn't imagine Wayne Pearce would want anything different from his side to what he saw at Stadium Australia.
He's done a great job, Wayne Pearce. He's improved as a coach over the years, and his preparation this week, we spoke to him today, it's been fantastic. Some of the young blokes like Mark O'Mealy, they've got to forget game 2, concentrate on this game, but there's enough experience in that side to help the young blokes do that.
Well, it's been quite a wait. We're going to take a break now and then come back to the ANZ Stadium with an in-depth panel view at this third and deciding clash.
Oh, and he's taken beautifully and stopped, and he attacks by McCabe, loses the ball, it's a try. One of the few passes that didn't find a player. Here's Miles, it doesn't matter, Miles has scored. Darling the ball, chip kick, and that'll be a try. Oh yes, Shearer was there. Shearer had it for the line. Yes, Shearer's there. Unbelievable football. Can't wait, he gets it down. It's a try. The Blues, oh, here's an intercept and a try. And State of Origin 1994. Langer scores and probably seals the series. The Queenslanders are in again. They've retained the trophy in front of a capacity crowd.
We do love a decider. In fact, only 3 times has the team that's lost the first game gone on to win the series. New South Wales tonight hoping to beat the odds. Time now for our panel to have a look at this match, and once again I'm joined by Paul Harrigan, Phil Gould, Paul Borton and Wally Lewis. Good evening, gentlemen. Wally, first up I must ask you your thoughts on the recall of Alan Langer.
Well, Peter, like every other rugby league fan in the world, I was absolutely stunned to hear of Langer's recall. The fellow that informed me, I thought he'd had a little bit too much to drink that late on Sunday night, but it was a case that I knew that Wayne Bennett was looking for some sort of variation in his attack, but I didn't think the change would be quite so radical.
Paul Harrigan, you had the honour of travelling out with the New South Wales guys on the bus not so long ago. What was your impression?
Yeah, I did, Peter. It was great. My impression was that they are on song. It's you kind of get to know what's going on when you're sitting in a bus with the lights out, the police escort for 20 minutes, no one says a word. So I think they're on. Brad Fittler in particular, very calculated, very still-eyed, no emotion at all, so he's ready to go. I think the Blues are looking pretty good.
Well, speaking of the Blues, Phil Gould, the influence of Alan Langer being in the Queensland side, how does that affect the New South Wales preparation?
Well, I think it helps their preparation, also helps their motivation, Peter. Preparation-wise, all the hype has been around Alan Langer, and I guess to a lesser extent Brad Fittler's last game in Origin, and also with motivation. Pretty dominant performance in game 2. The fact that Alan Langer's back puts a little bit of mystique about this Queensland team, gets them on their toes. They'll be right for the game tonight.
Well, they were beaten by 18 points in the second game. 3 changes to their side. Let's have a look at them, Paul.
Let's have a look at this fine band of young men about to achieve what we hope is glory for the Queensland. If you're a Queensland supporter, Darren Lockyer must be in the top 5 players in the game. He's got a suspect shoulder injury picked up against the West Tigers and the Broncos. Everything good that Queensland do will come from him. Lottie Takiri's played quite well in both of the games this year. Look for him. He's a very important man in the carry-back missions. Got plenty of speed. He's got to be closely marked in those situations. Chris Walker comes into the side off the bench. He can score a try. He scored 1 each in both of the Origin games. Can be suspect in defence though. They might target him if they know he's playing. Paul Bowman, rock solid as a centre. Look, he's a very good player. He's not that flash in the attacking department, but he makes plenty of decent tackles in these games, let me tell you. Wendell Saylor, only 1 try in 13 games of Origin. He's talked it up. He needs a big game tonight to go out to finish his Origin career as a winner before he heads to the Rah-Rah. Daniel Wagon moves from centre to the 5/8 role. That was to be expected in the defensive role. He's a very good defensive player, but he did show in his last game for Para when playing in the centres he can score a try. And here he is, the new king, Alan Langer, nearly 35 years of age. What's he got left in the tank? Can he prove that he's still got it? I'm sure he certainly can tonight when he gets out on that park. Darren Smith, the veteran, 18 games of Origin for him. He's been moved from the centres to the lock forward role. He'll drift around the park, very good cover defending player, and watch him from dummy half. He can score a try. Bradley Myers, one of the great redheads in the game today. He's only 21, playing his 3rd State of Origin game. He's a workhorse. He'll do 30 or 35 tackles tonight. He hits the ball up strongly as well. well. Petro Sivanasiva, he can offload, he can make a break, he turns his side on into the defence looking for support. They need players like Langer and Lockyer supporting him to make the breaks. John Buttigieg, only doubt about John is he hasn't played for about a month. He carries a bit of put. He'll be looking to be interchanged, no doubt about it, but he's a good, strong, aggressive player. I like him. He can offload. Paul Green from 5'8" to the hooking role. He'll play dummy half. He set up a try late in that second game from dummy half. That's why Wayne Bennett has picked him there again tonight. Shane Webke, for mine, the best prop in the world today, and he will lead this Queensland side. Bullocking runs, charging runs, and some aggression from him tonight, no doubt about it. John Doyle had a great debut. He'll never forget that try he scored in that first game. A fine young player. After about 20 minutes, we'll see him come on and run from dummy half. He will be a massive threat. Kevin Campion, another veteran champion. He's been around a long time, only his third origin, but he's a good, solid player. He's the sort of player Wayne Bennett looks to shore up things after about 20-25 minutes. Carl Webb, once again, a great debut made by him. He'll never forget that try he scored either. Bit quiet in that second game, bit disappointing, I've got to say, but he's looking for another big game tonight on the edge of the rucks. Carl Webb and Dane Carlaw, good solid debut by him. He hits the ball up strongly, good work ethic, and he'll make plenty of charges tonight. It's a good-looking side for mine.
It is a good-looking side, and no surprise, as you pointed out, that there was a change, a positional change, because Wayne Bennett has done that in both games. What do you see from that? Chris Walker coming into the side, John Doyle onto the bench.
Well, number one, it gets Paul Green into the dummy half role, where I think Paul Green was going to play had Sean Berrigan been right for Origin 1 and not been injured for the Broncos. He was going to be their original hooker. It also puts John Doyle back to the bench. Now, in Origin 1, John Doyle had a big impact coming off the bench. Kevin Campion started the game, and the Blues were very, very suspect around the marker defence area. John Doyle's injection into the game and the fact there's going to be so much attention on Alan Langer could really trouble the Blues if they haven't prepared themselves in that area.
Well, Alan Langer's not coming back from retirement. He's actually played for Warrington for the last 18 months in the English Super League. And Wally, from this vision, it is the old Alan Langer.
Yeah, he's certainly in good form. It took him a little while to find his feet over in the UK, but Alf's adopted his old style to very successful levels over there in England, especially this year. But he's been getting a lot of assistance from his forward pack. Really has changed their style of game a little bit, and that has been a great advantage to him. One of the things that he has managed to change a lot of the Pommies to is running angles. Takes the ball across. That's very much an Australian style of play, dropping the big forwards back on the inside. He'll be looking for a number of his teammates, particularly Campion, to give him a little bit of support if he needs a little bit of a break to take the ball across. But some of the bigger forwards, such as Buttigieg, Miles and Sivanasiva, they'll enjoy running onto the inside breaks if they're left there. The big problem with, of course, when you're trying to defend against Langer, if you're only looking at the attack that's coming on the inside to feed off Langer, you leave him on his own, he's going to cut you to pieces.
Well, Wally, what about defence? There's been a bit of criticism about Alfie, particularly if him and Paul Green are together, but from Mark, he is dynamic. He makes 2 and 3 in a row, and he's pulled me down plenty of times. There's no problem with the big fellas with that little throw. That throw he's got, it's magical.
Yeah, he does, Chief. I don't know whether I agree with the style of it all that much, but I think it's been a pretty good move from Wayne Bennett. He knew that a lot of the New South Wales camp believed that it may have been a little bit of a problem to put Green alongside of Langer by putting Green into dummy half or marker on a number of occasions. He's going to be able to split the pair up, and it's going to be a little bit tougher for him.
Look, Alf's played 51 games over there since leaving our shores in 1999. Wayne Bennett's no dummy. He wouldn't have brought him back unless he did his research and knew that he was still up to it.
Well, Paul, you were in the Queensland sheds and spoke to the players before game 2. They're in the sheds now preparing. What was your impression back then? You said that there are not a lot of talkers in the side.
I thought they were very quiet, both before the game ended, half-time, and, you know, here they are now, and this is shots just taken, players getting ready to come out. There wasn't much chat between the players, and once again there you can see they're just resting up for this game. But Alfie gets around the players as a player. We've all played with him. He talks up with the players, G's them up, gets them ready to go out and fire up, and that's the reason he's been moved back. No Gordon Tallis, no leadership the second game. Alan Langer and plenty of leadership tonight.
Well, there's a number of the players that wanted an opportunity to play alongside Alan Langer. Got to agree with that. The amount of communication that he comes up with on the field is absolutely remarkable. A number of these young blokes that wanted to play alongside him, they're going to be sick and tired of the sound of his voice come full time.
What about that back in our day, Wally? The rubbers were 75 and just about pensioned off. Their glamours were given the rubs now. What's doing?
I don't know about your rubs. Alan Langer is the man of the moment, and if you'd like a small piece of the little champion, he has a piece of memorabilia out now. It includes pictures of him playing for Australia, Queensland and in the Broncos strip, personally signed. It's a limited edition of 1,500, fully framed. It'll cost you $545 plus postage and handling. That's the number to ring, 1300 36 1016. Not to be missed. We'll take a break now from ANZ Stadium and come back and have a look at the Blues lineup. For our coverage. Big night coming up for both sides as Wayne Bennett addresses his team. Tonight, Wayne Bennett actually equals Arthur Beetson's record of 16 games in charge of the Maroons. He was last in charge in 1998 when they won the series. And I figure Phil Gould, that in that period of time, he is the benchmark for coaches now. He pretty much knows what needs to be said at this stage.
He certainly has. I mean, the responsibility of development of rugby league in Queensland has virtually been on his shoulders ever since the Broncos came into the competition. The majority of these players he brought through or saw as young players, seen them come through to the origin level of football. He's overseeing their preparation for this series. Excellent effort in game 1. He was disappointed by game 2. He stuck his head on the chopping block in game 3, bringing back Alfie Langer. Now a last-minute change to the side. He's had a big impact on the series, win, lose or draw.
Well, let's have a look at the side that he is up against this evening. Only 2 changes to the New South Wales team, both through injury. That one game 2 at fullback. Newcastle fullback Mark Hughes has been absolutely outstanding. He completes his first full series tonight and he has been as safe as the proverbial bank. On one wing, Jamie Ainscough, an outstanding performance in the second match, highlighted by a try early in the second half, and that was the try that really got the Blues on the roll in the first 15 minutes. Number 3 is the centre Ryan Girdler from the Penrith Panthers. Missed game 1, defended stoutly in game 2. Only concern for Ryan at the moment is his goal kicking, only 6 from his last 19. His centre partner is Matthew Gidley from the Newcastle Knights. He's played a lot of 5'8" in recent weeks at club level. Tonight he returns to his much more favoured position. Number 5, the winger Adam McDougall. The last time he will mark up against Wendell Saylor at origin level, he'll be looking for a big one. First time he's come into a game this series without an injury concern. At 5'8" and captain, and a huge night for Brad Fittler. He plays his 29th origin game. It is his last. It's the swan song. And Freddie Fittler, what a player. At halfback, Brett Camorley comes in for the injured Trent Barrett. Was dropped after game 1, and he'll be looking for the kind of performance he displayed in the recent City Country fixture. At lock forward, Parramatta's Andrew Ryan comes in for the injured Luke Ricketson, and he'll be playing the same kind of game we saw from Ricketson. Plenty of game time, plenty of work. The second row, and it's a very mobile second row. Adam Muir from the Eagles has been in outstanding form, good at offloading, very aggressive, very skillful, as is Brian Fletcher, the number 11. They are so important to New South Wales' second phase play tonight. Watch for his combination with Roosters teammate Brad Fittler. Up front, Marco Mealy, a dream debut at Stadium Australia for this young man. Very aggressive, a lot of hit-ups. And of course he did set up Brad Fittler for his second try, the youngest man in action tonight. At number 9 and hooker is Luke Prittis, the sole Bronco player in this lineup for New South Wales. An excellent defender. He will share the dummy half duties with Craig Gower. The other front row is Jason Stevens, a gentle giant off the field, tough and aggressive on the field, and he'll be the cornerstone once again of the front 6. Off the bench, Craig Gower from Penrith, a real impact player. Watch his darts out of dummy half, and he will play, I would think, the middle third of this game. Number 15 is Michael Vella. Very mobile front rower from the Parramatta club. He's an ex-winger, and tonight he packs down in his 7th origin game. Number 16 is Matt Adamson. He was actually the first player used by coach Wayne Pearce off the bench last week, and I would say that'll be the case tonight. He'll be in action early. And a recall tonight for an origin veteran in Steve Menzies. Plays his 13th origin tonight. He is the leading forward try scorer in premiership history. Very dangerous.
And New South Wales dressing room lines, the boys, this is a little bit earlier once again. They're just settling down, settling their nerves. Paul Harrigan said they look on song. They look quite relaxed for mine. They look ready to go. Brett Camorley gets another chance tonight to run the ball. Craig Gower, what a player he is. And for mine, boys, I think the New South Wales team looks stronger than their second team. With Craig Gower back in sensational form, and Steve Menzies, who we saw just before coming in off the bench. Phil?
Yeah, I think the New South Wales bench can win this game for them. Craig Gower's injection could be a great tactical move. The timing of it could be a tactical move by Wayne Pearce. I'm very happy Steve Menzies is back in the squad. I love him at origin football. He can score you a try. He can save you a try. The player tonight that I think could benefit from the fact that this man, Brad Fittler, has hogged so much of the publicity being at last game is Brett Camorley. Now, he didn't play in game 2. He was dropped after game 1, I think unfairly. I think he got the criticism for game 1, and it wasn't deserved. I think he's got a lot to prove tonight, and the fact that so much focus has been on Brad Fittler or Trent Barrett, will he play or won't he play? Now that he's back in the team, he could be the one to have the big impact for New South Wales tonight.
Well, Paul Harrigan, in both games so far, I think that we've known who was going to win after the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the forward packs have pretty well been the litmus test in the first start of Origin. Queensland got away from the first set of 6. New South Wales, the second game took a little bit more. I think tonight the forwards pack will really battle it out. I think it'll go well into the second half, but you just know with this forward pack, it's the play the balls were the key in both games, and they'll be concentrating on slowing the opposition down. Quick play the balls, just the little things. There is 1,000 victories in a victory, and that's what they've been talking about. I think they'll go well. I agree with you, Fatty. They are a much stronger side, and they'll perform well tonight.
Well, only a couple of minutes before the sides take the field at ANZ Stadium. If there was a roof here, they would raise it. If there were rafters, they'd be hanging off them. I just want a quick wrap, and I want to know who will win and why.
But I obviously think New South Wales will win. Great players in our games always get ushered out the right way, and I think it's Brad Fittler's turn. They'll have a great game. It carries a lot of magnitude with it. New South Wales will win, that's for sure.
Yeah, New South Wales, their attitude will be right tonight. It is a decider, a big game. They've got the ability to keep the scoreboard ticking because they've got so many attacking options. I just don't know that Queensland can do that. It'll be an emotional tussle. It'll be a physical tussle. New South Wales can win on the scoreboard comfortably.
I'm tipping Queensland, Pig. I'd never tip the other mob, but for mine, man of the match tonight will be Shane Webke. For mine, Queensland's strengths is his game. If he gets on a roll, if he takes the rest of them with him, like Sivan Asiva and Myers and Buttigieg and a couple of blokes like Lockyer and Little Alfie running off them, then I think they can win this one.
Yeah, I think Queensland obviously will get ahead. It'll be a real bonus to have Alan Langer via them. He will be the rudder for them. He'll steer them around pretty well. But I think there's going to be an absolutely necessary injection from Queensland's bench. That's the area where I believe that they don't tend to match up too well against New South Wales.
Fatty, just quickly, with all due respect to the Queensland side, are there enough points in this team to win a decider?
Well, there were in the first game, Pete. We had a similar side and we put on, 30-odd. And it just depends how the opposition plays, Pete. Queensland didn't play well in that second game. That's why we got flogged. New South Wales were ordering the first game. So let's see who can control the football in the opening stanzas. That'll decide the game.
Yeah, I think that was obviously Queensland's biggest problem in the second game. They didn't have a lot of football, and in great field position, they knocked on a dummy half, a lot of simple
They had some
knock-ons.
chances. There were some bad kicks, some bad knock-ons, and they said if we get 50% of the ball and hold on to it, we're a big ape.
And Darren Lockyer was under a lot of pressure. Every time he went to try and kick the ball, he had 2 or 3 New South Wales players charging straight at him. Langer will take a little bit of heat off him.
Well, we shall soon know. We will take a break now from ANZ and be back with Ray Warren and Game 3, the decider.
And it makes for a magnificent sight. An unparalleled build-up has seen this capacity crowd flood into ANZ, which houses State of Origin for the first time. This is absolutely pulsating, this entire stadium, with the excitement generated by a number of events in this incredible adventure. The dressing room of the Queenslanders, an adventure that has seen Gordon Tallis bow out of the race for this crown of 2001. The same happened to Trent Barrett. And then, of course, Alan Langer returns to State of Origin, returns to Australian football. It has truly been a roller coaster ride, and without any doubt, the most dramatic series thus far is about to come to its climax tonight. The New South Wales side about to leave the dressing rooms. A pronounced favourite. 2-1 on is the market on the New South Wales side, and as much as 6-4 is being offered about the Queenslanders. That, of course, is through the state of New South Wales. A crowd of, I'm told, 50,000 represents capacity at ANZ Stadium. And if that is so, then we're looking out at 50,000 rugby league fans tonight in a city that has had an absolutely wonderful weekend of sport. And Brad Fittler takes the Blues out. He says farewell to Origin football in this game tonight. He debuted back in 1990 under Jack Gibson. He came on as a replacement at Olympic Park in Melbourne. Tonight he is the most capped New South Wales player ever. He's the most capped New South Wales captain. And I will never forget that he's only the second youngest player ever to play Origin football. And as you saw, the players really geeing him up, letting him know that they're here for him and for themselves. And that was something that Brad Fittler really pressed home during the week. You're out there for yourself, don't just go there for me. And now the Queenslanders, a magnificent moment, an historic moment for some of these youngsters that have been called on by Wayne Bennett and Queensland football. They file out behind their captain, Darren Lockyer. He's followed by Alan Langer, and listen to this roar that'll go up now. To a man is standing to welcome home Alan Langer, former Australian captain, playing his 31st Origin, 22 Test matches, 240 Premiership games, and 4 times a grand final victor. Alfie is back in town. Tremendous moments. And what a week it's been for rugby league, front page, back page. As we have a look at the cards again for you, here's Queensland.
Yeah, a couple of late changes. Darren Locker's the fullback and captain. Takiri and Saylor on the wings. Chris Walker comes off the bench, gets a chance first up in the number 14 jumper. He's in the centres with Bowman. Wagon from centres to the 5/8 role. Alan Langer, the halfback. Darren Smith, lock forward. Myers and Sivanasiva in the back row. Webke and Buttigieg, the props. Paul Green from 5/8 to the hooking role. The interchange of Doyle, Webb, Campion, Carlaw, coached by Wayne Bennett.
And New South Wales are represented by Mark Hughes at fullback, Ainscough and McDougall the wingers, Girdler and Gidley the centres, Brad Fittler 5/8 and captain, Brett Kamali comes in at halfback, Ryan Locks the scrum, Fletcher and Muir the second rowers, Stevens, Prittis, O'Mealy the front row, and on the interchange, Gower, Adamson, Vella and Menzies, coached by Wayne Pearce.
Tremendous setting. The ground in beautiful condition. Down on the sidelines for us is Andrew Voss. Good evening, Andrew.
Yeah, Ray, certainly the best atmosphere I've ever experienced here at ANZ, and that includes a grand final night here in 1997. Everything perfect for football, only a light cover of dew, so the playing surface not too slippery. It's been the most extraordinary week in Origin history. The Alan Langer story unfolding. We're about to find out if the story has a fairy tale ending.
And now for the national anthem. It'll be performed by Michael King. So, as we welcome our viewers from around Australia and other parts of the globe, welcome to this tremendous night that is about to unfold. Truly a sporting event in front of the Brisbane public. King, and that will be followed by a mark of respect for the late Tom Bellew, who was chairman of the New South Wales Rugby League for a period of time through the early and mid-80s, 83 through 86, and Tom Bellew passing away earlier in the week. So Fittler pulls the curtain down on a wonderful Origin career. The same can be said for Alfie Langer, I suppose. And of course, Wendell Saylor over there in jumper number 5. It's his last Origin. Probably the same for Darren Smith and for Jamie Ainscough. Bill Harrigan officiates at his 15th State of Origin. Queensland have won 8 times from the 14 occasions they've been refereed by Bill Harrigan. The decider, the 9th one required in State of Origin football, is underway. And it's Buttigieg who loses the ball. First tackle of the Origin decider, and Buttigieg has coughed it up. New South Wales will feed the scrum just inside the Queensland 20-metre line.
Yeah, very heavy tackle. It was Jason Stevens coming in as the third man who knocked the ball loose.
So the Blues get an early opportunity. Girdler goes all the way. Well, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, has he got the ball down? There's a doubt. Harrigan's gone to the touch judge. He wants to have a look at it.
It's not the first time in the opening seconds of an Origin match that Girdler has crossed the line.
He got on the outside of Bowman. He dummied Darren Smith coming from the scrum as a lock forward. Does he ground the ball properly for the opening try? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. There was no doubt at all. And what a great start for the Blues. Put it down to their defence. They forced the early mistake on Buttigieg. And from there, from that scrum, a nice little set play, a simple one, they get the opening try. It's unbelievable.
Well, it takes you back to game 1, doesn't it, with Lottie Takiri racing the length of the field to throw an inside ball to Darren Lockyer. This will be a green light. And an incredible start. If New South Wales wanted to silence this crowd, that has gone a long way towards doing so. They win the scrum. Goes out. He frees it there. Have a look at that man. That is the player that Paul is talking about, Paul Bowman, and Girdler in and away as play continues. He gets outside Bowman with superior speed, shapes the pass to his winger, Adam McDougall. Wendell decides to stay with his man, the inside fend, and Girdler gets the ball down. Unbelievable start.
Yeah, it looked all too easy, and Ryan Girdler would appreciate getting this try. Hasn't been in the greatest of form, but beautiful stuff. He's got the speed. Darren Smith, he just outpaced him. And what a good fend, right in the mush.
So Girdler picks up this incredible try in the opening minute of Origin 3. And now, something that will be worrying him. 6 successes from his last 19 in club football. Here he comes from the line. He has done it. Girdler converts from the touchline. 6-0 in favour of the Blues.
Tough baked-on food usually requires soaking. Finish Powerball tablets with pre-soakers soften and break food down so the tablet can clean every wash to a brilliant shine. Try New Finish Powerball tablets.
Which package helped the Walkers manage income between good years and bad? The Commonwealth Government's Agriculture Advancing Australia package through its Farm Management Deposit Scheme. To find out what's in it for you, call us or visit the website. Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
As we bring you back, it is 6-0 the Blues. People had not even reached their seats. Prittis comes out from dummy half. He's put away just inside his own 40-metre line. Andrew Ryan in jumper number 13 tonight. Stevens. Little kick over the top. Regathered by the Blues. Then Fletcher, then Kamali. Put on the boot by Fittler. Ricochet effect. Ryan got it away to Ainscough. Ainscough flicks it out the back. Gidley gets it on. Now it's O'Mealy. Now it's Ryan. He knocks on. Talk about razzle-dazzle.
Well, is this the first couple of minutes of an Origin game? Incredible stuff there. Purposeful kick as the Blues defence again muscles up. And then we had about 8 or 9 men keeping the ball alive as the Maroons, shell-shocked, work it out from their own end. They go wide to do so through Bowman.
Queensland then, just inside their own 30-metre line. As Saylor makes his first attacking offering of the night. Got it 35 away. Now Sivanasiva. Langer. He kicks ahead. The chase is on from Walker. Taken by Hughes. Might have got one a tad high. Now McDougall.
The New South Wales have done their homework. Mark Hughes was a lot flatter than what we saw in game 1 and 2, waiting for the Alan Langer kick. Took it comfortably as Fletcher carries Slee, 42 out.
Critters at acting half, and O'Mealy takes a charge to within about 30 metres of the Maroons line for Fletcher to go to the right, finding Andrew Ryan. He beat his Parramatta teammate Daniel Wagon initially, pulled down by Myers on tackle 5. Kamali high, and Saylor makes a mistake. Ball goes to ground. First knock on is the one that will count.
And Queensland looking very, very shaky. The field position has been all New South Wales way. He should have taken that easily, Saylor. Had plenty of time to get it. And already Queensland, they've missed about 10 tackles in the opening 5 minutes, falling off quite easily.
So they decide to go to the blind side to Girdler. Langer making the tackle. It brought a roar from the crowd, a roar of approval. Stevens. Close to the line again, the Blues. Kamali. Inside ball for O'Mealy. He lost it. It went forward. The Queensland crowd happy with Bill Harrigan's decision there.
Peter, I've got to say that really is smart play from New South Wales. It's been a wonderful opening from them. Very confident one. And they've tried to really drive the nail in. They've got to try and do that even further to Queensland, just to try and take a little bit of their confidence away, but to try and upset their game plan more than anything else.
Special comments during the game from Wally Lewis. Saylor takes that first play, ridding himself of the memories of his mistake. Now Webb kick. Wagon's with him. Wagon's up the middle. Pulled down by Prittis. To Keary. To Keary with a long run. Hughes makes the tackle. 28 metres out from the Blues line. Langer for Lockyer. Now it's Bowman. Loose ball. Harrigan says play on. 6 more tackles. Green. Langer now. There it goes. It's gone to ground and picked up by a runaway Ainscough, but it's been called back.
Yeah, knocked down by a New South Wales defender, and just as well that it was, because it was try time to the left. Great lead-up play here. Daniel Wagon showed good speed. What about the cover defence of Luke Prittis? Great stuff. Lottie to Keary took the next one, busted them up. And if the last pass had found its mark, the Maroons would have crossed as well. Here's Lottie getting out of dummy half. No one on the blind side. Goes back through the middle.
Now Queensland with Wagon. Sivanasiva. 3 metres from the line. Langer's out to the left. Green goes to him. Second man play for Buttigieg. Now Langer calling it to the right from the dummy half Myers. Here he is. Then for Green. Now for Lockyer. Lockyer away for Walker. Taken ball and all by McDougall. And that's a fair strip, 1-on-1. And Girdler's got the ball for the Blues.
Gee, that's a great tackle from Adam McDougall. Both the New South Wales wingers in game 2 made good decisions as to when to come in And that was another indication. He snuffed it out, forced the mistake as O'Mealy, looking to make up for a mistake at the other end of the field, picks up 5 metres.
Prittis clearing beyond the 30-metre line. Fletcher. Tremendous tackle by Prittis earlier in the game on Wagon. I didn't think the Broncos hooker had that much speed. Halfway line. Fittler hooks that kick back. And here's Saylor returning it. 14th Origin match tonight for Wendell. And he's only scored 1 try. That was in 1998 off a Langer chip kick. Lockyer did well before he hit the ground. Myers. Now, it is Takiri. Queensland are looking good. Walker's going for the corner. Queensland's in. They get their first try. And again, Takiri is prominent.
Ah, they're looking good. They're looking great. Alan Langer has shown in the first 10 minutes of this game it was well worth bringing him out. From that kick return, he set it up, he got his back line ready, and he said, let's go now, boys, don't pussyfoot around. A beautiful ball from Darren Lockyer. He should have died there. But Brad Myers makes a bustling run and a great offload to Takiri. He's got a really speed merchant on his inside in Chris Walker. Got some work to do. Took on the fullback, got around him, had the speed to beat the cover defence. Great comeback by the Maroons.
Have a look at this take by Brad Myers. Very difficult for a tall man. Got down well and then straight over the top of Matt Gidley. And that set the try up because Ainscough had to come in. Myers, what a fantastic job there. On to Lottie Takiri. And when you've got Takiri and Chris Walker coming at you, you know you're in trouble. He did well, Chris Walker. Bamboozled the last line of defence. And great work from Luke Prittis again. That's a hooker, stopping Walker from promoting the football closer to the posts. Wonderful shot that. Keary, so good on the left-hand side, and Chris Walker. Well, as Paul pointed out before the game, he can sniff out a try. He might get a few more in his career at this level.
So Lockyer from the touchline, bringing it around, and it's just wide. Just wide for Lockyer. It is 6-4, the Blues over the Maroons. 12 minutes gone. Back at ANZ Stadium. 9 network coverage of the decider. State of Origin 3. It is 6-4 in favour of the Blues. They scored in the first minute of play. And then Queensland has struck back at the 11th minute. Here's Langer again. Pulled down by Jason Stevens. Green tries to generate something through the middle. Running from dummy half and finding the markers not at home. It worked in game 1. Hughes. And heavily dropped on the ground. Harrigan has ordered a dangerous tackle.
Well, Paul Bowman's mystified. He gets there first. And in the end, it was a little bit dangerous, wasn't it? As Darren Smith came in and they flipped him over.
Well, it took him past the vertical, and that's the reason for the penalty, and rightly so. The horizontal, I'm sorry. And nearly was vertical.
It looked to me as though Darren Smith, his involvement didn't help Paul Bowman. Stevens then. Oh! Losing the ball in a big hit from Webke.
Well, he was falling into that tackle and Webke's just smashed him. He half-wide trips over and gets crunched by Webke. Ball lost.
Wagon at 5/8. Lockyer into the back line. Hughes, the fullback. He's taken him to ground, but Lockyer made the halfway line. Now Takiri, who's already reminded the Blues of his performance in State of Origin 1. Myers. Webke. Running into Stevens and O'Mealy. A little bit of the yours for theirs. Now Lockyer. Green. Langer. Langer, that little kick. Work here for Girdler. It's still on for Queensland. That's Buttigieg.
6 against.
Six more tackles.
Score. Look at Sailors win. Plenty of people out there to score tries.
Darren Smith. Now it is Bowman. Bowman's over. Did he drop the ball? He points to the spot. It's a try to Queensland. A try to the Cowboy. Paul Bowman. Queensland take the lead.
Well, they've hit back and they've hit back hard. A great kick from Alan Langer because it found space. Buttigieg looked like he would score. There's some wonderful defence there from Ryan Girdler. And the fact that Girdler was that far in meant that there had to be an opportunity to the right. I thought Bowman had ruined it by coming in, but he put a nice move on, beat 2 defenders and carried Muir over the line.
Yeah, strong player, Paul Bowman. I thought there was a hint of a knock-on by him in that chase for the kick. But Darren Smith, nice inside ball, and he brushes away from Adam Muir and then steps inside Brad Fittler. Not too many players can do that. And takes Adam Muir with him. Queensland hit the lead.
Well, Paul Bowman has got a reputation for being one of the best defenders in the competition. There you've seen the strength of him in attack. Queensland selectors took a punt on him last year, that is. He is blossoming into a guy that is going to be around for them for a long, long time. That's the assignment confronting Darren Lockyer to add 2 to their lead.
25 metres out. 8 metres in from touch. And on its way, but it's out in front of the uprights. No goal. Darren unsuccessful with both attempts. It is 8-6. Andrew Voss on the sideline.
And Ray, what a boost it is for Paul Bowman, missing that tackle on Ryan Girdler in the first 40 seconds of the match tonight that led to the Blues' first try. He comes back here, strong charge of his own, gets over the try line. Serlo mentioned the crowd had gone silent after that first Blues try. Well, they've erupted like a volcano, just like big Carl Webb on the bench in reaction to that try from Paul Bowman.
So the Blues sending it way down to the line. And Buttigieg running off a former teammate, Paul Green. Sivanasiva to the 20-metre line. And a penalty goes to the Maroons. Holding down in the tackle against Mark O'Mealy.
And that's a sign that New South Wales are starting to struggle in defence with the speed of the Queensland play the ball. I thought Sivanasiva was their best forward in the second game. Well, he's getting plenty of support tonight as Webke takes it forward.
Prittis putting his hand up first. Fletcher coming in second. Buttigieg. And again Prittis making that low tackle. Green. Green looking for Myers. 15 out from the line. Queensland coming again. Takiri. 8 metres out from the line. Green. Langer. Buttigieg. Run around. Langer puts a kick in behind. Hughes is there.
Well, how good's Alf going? I mean, it's still only early, but his kicking game, it's like he never left our shores. He's at his best, holding it up, seeing that the defence had come up, putting in the little kicks. His passing game's been tremendous, both long and short. He's going great.
Muir.
A bit of movement on the bench. Craig Gower onto his feet as Brad Fittler comes into spot and try and inspire his side. You would imagine Prittis would be the man to come off because he has worked overtime out there. Kamali. Ooh, just inside.
Of course, that was one of the areas that the critics believe that Kamali let the Blues down in State of Origin 1, his kicking game. Gower gets ready and Carlaw gets ready for the Maroons.
I think Kamali just asking Bill Harrigan to check on the 40-20, but he was just outside that 40 when he kicked it. Langer has the ball, will feed the scrum. Yeah, just a metre outside. A tremendous kick.
This is Wagon. And Langer now at dummy half. Darren Smith. He's put down back on his own 30-metre line. They go to the blind side. They pick up Wendell Saylor. And McDougall is there with O'Mealy and Girdler. Sivanasiva now to the halfway line. Out in front of Langer. It's a knock on by the little fellow. It's way out in front of him. And forward.
Well, the reason he couldn't catch it went a metre forward. So a mistake right on the halfway. Blues haven't looked that great with the football the last couple of times they've had it. The Queensland defence has rocked them. Let's see what they've got in this next set.
Hughes taken down just a few metres on the Queensland side of halfway. Played back to his Newcastle teammate Gidley. And Priddis goes in to dummy half before offloading for Fletcher. Fletcher will play it just outside the Queensland 30-metre line, but Bill Harrigan's whistle gives a penalty to the Blues.
Yes, raking the ball out in the tackle. I think Sivanasiva was the culprit. Green going high on Fletcher. Who's hand in there? Well, it wasn't Sivanasiva. It was either Smith or Green. Probably Smith. Gerda a chance to even things up. 32 out from the post directly in front.
Gower still to come on. And reminded that try by Chris Walker gives him a try in each game of this series. Now it is back to Girdler. Nailed his first kick to convert the try that he scored from the touchline. This one from right in front is looking good. Girdler raises the flags. And the scoreline is 8-all after 22 minutes of time. Girdler online.
That just might steady the ship for New South Wales. They looked a bit frail, especially defensively, in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Very interesting to see Queensland's defensive tactics when they're lining up against Brian Fletcher, such as the respect commanded by this guy's ball skills. Queensland are running in, trying to wrap the ball up first before they even worry about trying to knock him to the ground. I think they may have to change that a little bit.
Stevens playing it just outside his 20-metre line. Now it's Andrew Ryan's turn. Dane Carlaw in jumper number 17 making the tackle. O'Mealy losing the ball in the tackle from Sivanasiva. So here's a good chance for Queensland. They're down on the New South Wales 30-metre line.
Well, you won't see two better tackles than the one earlier from Shane Webke on Jason Stevens and that one by Petro Sivanasiva on Mark O'Mealy. They lift the side.
You can't strike until the ball's in. You got to keep your feet back too, Luke, until the ball's in.
Langer to Keary. To Keary running across the ground, eventually rounded up by Fittler. Now Saylor. The two big wingers combine back to back, and there's a penalty against the Blues.
A bit of a confrontation here between Adam Muir and Wendell Saylor.
Tackle, Adam, you push the ball out.
Ball raked out, 3 players on Saylor as Queensland take the tap. Webke winding up.
Langer again. Carlaw almost making a mistake. It's with Myers. And then the ball with Luke Prittis for New South Wales. It was meant for Darren Lockyer. Ainsko for O'Mealy. And a really hard tackle. There's the loss of the football, or it really wasn't. I think it was meant for Darren Lockyer. And Luke Prittis beating him to the punch.
Craig Gower, Michael Vella both just went on for the Blues.
Muir. Now Gower.
Prittis and O'Mealy, the men replaced. Morley looks to kick again just outside the 40. A charge down by Darren Smith, deliberately played out, so it should be 6 again. Mark Hughes fields the ball and is crunched.
The referee Harrigan's pulled this up. Is this for a high shot on Mark Hughes? They'll seem to go a touch high.
You're up too high, mate. You're up around his melon.
Chest.
You're up around his melon. Get him down. Stay on the ground. You won't have any problem.
Langer says chest, Harrigan says melon.
I think Harrigan was right.
Stevens now. Now Muir. Girdler, McDougall. McDougall losing the ball. Now, Harrigan is acknowledging the touch judge, apparently. McDougall must have had a foot on the line. Yes, that's what's happened. The touch judge has ruled that McDougall had a foot on the line when he touched that football. And the touch judge was right as well. Now Queensland with Daniel Wagon. Myers. ...40-metre line, the Blues end of the park. From Langer to Lockyer. Lockyer goes to Bowman. Bowman beating the tackle of Girdler to the 20-metre line. Smith. Langer. Wagon. It's left to Vella and Gower to pull him down. Doyle is on. Green. Inside ball. Lockyer. And it's scooped up by Kamali. The order is play on. That ball has gone forward.
Forward pass right in front of their sticks from Kamali. Brad Fittler not happy. Inside ball, good one to Lockyer. Dane Carlaw's back on the inside. He trips over Craig Gower, who's making a tackle. And from here, he simply tripped over. It goes back. Kamali picks up and then throws a forward pass.
I think he threw the forward pass deliberately, Paul, because he knew he was going to be taken into the in-goal area.
And this will cost them 2 points.
You see, I think Brad Fittler...
No, he passed the ball. Yeah, but he still play on. No. He still making the original thing. No.
Brad Fittler is arguing the same point that he argued in State of Origin 2, and that is to do with we didn't get any advantage from it. Remember when Bill Harrigan changed a decision concerning a scrum feed, and that's what Brad's on about. But Bill Harrigan was penalised for deliberately throwing the ball forward, and 2 points are on the board for Queensland. 28 minutes gone, they lead 10-8. Tallis down on the bench. That's Clinton Shivovsky, I believe, just off to his right. Trent Barrett, another of the wounded.
Stay behind it.
Girdler takes us into the next phase of play. Green sends it back to them with Carlaw.
Dominant tackle.
Doyle for Webke. He's put the ball down, but it's a penalty.
Too early.
It's a penalty, of course, to the Maroons. And And Bill Harrigan penalising the markers for not standing direct. Myers, 30-metre line. The Blues are really being stretched here. Shades of one. Green. And Darren Smith, it's gone for Daniel Wagon this time. 10-8. Queensland by 2. Doyle. We heard plenty about the injuries that he was carrying. With an idea in the next few minutes as Lockyer turns it in for Webke. Webke's pass goes to ground. It's picked up by Myers. He's been told to play the ball on 5. Reed. Langer steps and beats Gower. Gets it away for Wagon. Wagon away. And they're in again. It is Carlaw. Dane Carlaw scores. Langer. Absolutely brilliant off the right foot. He left Gower clutching at mid-air. And Queensland are in again. What a moment for Dane Carlaw.
There was an ordinary defensive line. We freeze it there. Have a look how quickly that New South Wales player has rushed up. Look at this New South Wales man going that way. Pretty easy for Langer to go straight through as play continues. It is the last. He's thrown a beautiful ball around the back to Daniel Wagon, who got an even better ball away to the try scorer Dane Carlaw. Last tackle. Cardinals seemed to overread the play. Gower went up quickly. Muir, he was more interested with who was getting the ball on the outside. And a thief in the night in Alan Langer got in behind them.
Oh, the magician weaving his magic out there, Alan Langer. Yes, very ordinary defence indeed. But Alan Langer read it well, he held it up. And that ball to get around the body, this one, that is just absolutely fantastic. And Dane Carlaw had come from the blind side to back up, throws it up.
And Lockyer raises the flags. So 16 points to 8. Is it any wonder they're smiling and clapping on the benches? Andrew.
Well, Ray, let's just look back at some of Alan Langer in action from tonight's Origin decider. Look, the wave of emotion that's come behind Alan Langer making his return tonight is fast turning into a tsunami here at ANZ Stadium tonight. And then you back it up with setting up this try. Everything going Queensland's way right now. Don't think that there can't be more points for the Maroons before half-time.
It certainly has been a stunning performance by Alfie. So far, so good for both him and Queensland. They lead 16-8, and here's the try scorer on the kick return. Webke now. Just beyond his own 20-metre line. Doyle using Saylor. Vella bumped away in the tackle.
Well, Ray, the reason that New South Wales won game 2 was because of their aggression in defence, getting up off their line. That has been knocked out of them. Have a look at how slowly they're coming up, and the big men for the Maroons are getting an opportunity to move. Tackles like that help, but not enough, and not often enough.
Lockyer shaping to kick, now running, and he goes through the gap. He's into space with 2 to beat. Kicks ahead. Takiri's with him. The Maroons are in again. Walker. Chris Walker has scored. They were pushing each other out of the road. 20 points to 8. Lockyer went through like a surgeon's scalpel.
Well, I said New South Wales had done their homework early. Not in this situation. Lockyer now frees the play there. Have a look at this for defence. We've got players going up quickly. We've only got 2 this side. Darren Lockyer is going to carve you up. He gets the ball. He gets on the outside of one man. I think it's probably a forward there. And then, well, he's got to come up with the right decision. It's to kick the football. A deft kick. Everybody was onside. The bounce only needed to be a good one, and it was for Chris Walker and Queensland.
Yeah, they look gone for mine. New South Wales, their heads are down. They're doing everything wrong. And Darren Lockyer carving them up beautifully. He doesn't need much room to move. He had plenty of room there. And this man here, 4 tries now in 3 games of Origin. He and Lottie Takira nearly had a blue getting to that one. Both hungry for it. Gary Belcher, former Origin great, Chris Close, they're loving it.
Well, you said that New South Wales looked gone, Paul. There is nothing that hurts more than to concede a try on the last tackle. You've worked so hard to force the opposition to kick, and the last 2 tries have come because they thought the job had been done. Langer hurt them with a kick. Lockyer hurt them with a run and a kick.
Now Lockyer. 2 metres in from touch. It's looking okay. Flags are up. Lockyer has converted. 22-8 now. Andrew.
Well, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. And the man who scores the try, Chris Walker, you know, Ray, I was watching him before the match started tonight. 45 minutes before kickoff, Chris Walker was still in his shirt, his suit, his tie, while all his teammates were in the dressing room. In fact, Chris was signing autographs. He's a bit of an extrovert. That's just his way of preparing for the night. And he is a real live wire as well. You can criticise his defence at times, but you certainly can't criticise his natural ability with a ball in his hands.
So the restart from Girdler finds Carlaw. Working like a Trojan since he came on, including a try. Now Webke. 22-8. It's a long road back for the Blues. Myers went straight through. Kamali hanging on. It was Adam Muir that he beat originally. Langer chipping again for Green. Green's been taken out. Hughes has got the ball.
All right, Queensland might appeal to Bill Harrigan not to stop for half-time. They don't want to leave the field. For New South Wales, it cannot come quick enough.
Adamson. Menzies. Muir again. Down for Gow. Then for Kamali. Bowman grabbing up high. McDougall.
Forward pass from Kamali. No doubt about it. Nothing going right for the Blues.
Brett should have thrown the first time instead of throwing the dummy. They created an overlap. He had an opportunity for quick hands. Have a look there. Needed to pass it. Saylor was coming in on Fittler. There was a 2-man overlap. If the ball had gone out the first time, I think it's probably a pretty harsh call.
Yeah, it is a bit. Looked like the hands, it went backwards and floated forward.
Heads down.
But gee, what is there? A couple of minutes to go before half-time, 3 to go. Another try here. She's all over Red Rover.
Green. Myers unloading it on his way to the ground. Back to Lockyer.
Well, what about all the talk of Langer, Lockyer, Saylor? The best player in the field so far, Brad Myers.
Here's Doyle. Up on the New South Wales 10-metre line. Lined out wide to the right. Lockyer. Now for Green. He gets it away as Kamali makes the tackle. This is Bowman. Smith. Langer. Inside for Lockyer. Lockyer's over. Harrigan points to the spot. It's another try. They're scoring at will, the Queenslanders.
Oh, stop the fight. Well, maybe it is Red Rover, who knows? But such a simple play with Alan Langer going across field, man on the inside. Just not enough urgency on the inside from Matt Adamson. He had to come across at speed, not once the ball had been taken by Darren Lockyer.
Oh, New South Wales, I'm telling you, they look slow, they look tired, they look disinterested. Queensland are just playing great football. The little general once again. That's why Wayne Bennett brought him back, and Darren Lockyer. Easy for him back on the inside. No one there to tackle him.
Yeah, it's a simple play, but very effective. Again, we go back to the mistake from New South Wales. We freeze it there. Just have a look at this man, Matt Adamson. There's a gap there. He's got to come up and close it. Simple for Darren Lockyer to come and use his speed to take advantage. Play continues. The defence going across, not coming up to meet. And the inside ball was a killer. Well, the bench is getting plenty of exercise anyway.
Yes, they haven't needed to be stretched. I said earlier that maybe it was Alan Langer's last Origin. I'm not so sure. Half-time, just 30 seconds away, as Lockyer converts. It is now 28-8, and they are having a wonderful time. Andrew.
Well, Ray, where did they get this 34-year-old kid called Langer from? Let's bring him back for 3 games every year until he's 50. There's the contrast. You saw the Maroons bench going up. I've seen this look on the New South Wales bench. It was a couple of months ago. Origin 1 at Suncorp Stadium. O'Mealy, Prittis, Stevens and Fletcher. Mate, the body language not good for the Blues.
Well, what an unhappy way. If this avalanche continues, it is going to be for Brad Fittler. 28-8. They have scored 5 tries to 1. And keep in mind, New South Wales scored that try in the opening 60 seconds. So they've scored 5 tries to none in the 39 minutes that followed the New South Wales start. Langer's having an absolute ball out there. What a marvellous player to do what he's done, and he's doing it again tonight. 28-8 at half-time. We'll take a break and be back with the panel in just a moment.
Wayne Bennett and his men, a demolition job on the New South Wales side. 28 points to 8 they lead. Wayne Pearce, well, I don't know what he would be saying to his team at halftime. Must be bitterly disappointed with their performance, especially after a great start. 5 tries to 1 in the first half. Chris Walker has grabbed a double already. Bowman, Carlaw, Lockyer have all crossed. Darren Lockyer 4 from 6, while for the Blues, sole try scorer Ryan Girdler, and he has kicked 2 from 2. In a performance that has astounded, well, I think even the most ardent Queensland supporters here tonight. Paul Vorton, you said all over Red Rover. That's not something I thought we'd be saying at half-time.
No, it's been a brilliant performance by the Queensland side. They've controlled the ball. Alan Langer's been at his best, but you made a good point. Bradley Myers has had a half of football that I don't think he would have ever dreamed he could possibly have. He has been absolutely brilliant. He's made 10, 20, 30 minutes every time he's got the ball. Shane Webke's been fantastic. As a side, they've really gelled. And Darren Lockyer once again proving just he is in the top 3 or 5 players of the world. It's been a great half. New South Wales for mine, they are dead set gone. They don't look interested at all.
Well, let's have a look at the Tui's new possession flow charts and see if that gives an indication of why this first half has gone the way it has. That's Queensland, 22 possessions, 15 completions. The red lines are each time they've had the football. The black lines are the errors. The most impressive thing, of course, are these. The little tennis balls signifying tries. What a finish to the first half. That's pretty much wrapped things up. There were some mistakes early on and early in the tackle count, and they have been able to put together some sets of 6 in a row there. It's not outstanding, but when you have a look at the 5 tries, it's very, very good. You have a look at New South Wales, well, this is disgraceful. 17 possessions, 9 times they've completed, and well, what, their last, say, 8 or 9 possessions, they have lost the football. Second tackle, first tackle. Before the first, on the fourth, have given themselves no chance. Really no platform set here by the New South Wales forwards. They have been bitterly disappointing, Phil Gould. And look, you don't like to pick out players in a loss like that, but these games are won up front and they've been blown away.
Yeah, simple as that, Peter. Look, you can't sugarcoat a bitter pill. And Wayne Pearce has got to go there and get stuck right into his forwards, who tonight have been disgraceful. Front rowers, right from the start of the game, turned the ball over on the first tackle. Stevens once, O'Mealy twice. There's no defence around the middle of the ruck where Queensland cut them up in game 1. They're doing it again tonight. You can go with all the possession flows you like. You can go with all the stats sheets you like. They don't show what pride and passion is. And if there was a metre for that, Queensland are up here and New South Wales are yet to register.
Well, the only shining light for New South Wales, of course, came in the first 2 minutes. They put the first try on through Ryan Girdler.
So the Blues get an early opportunity. Girdler goes all the way. Well, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, an amazing start to the game. Queensland dropped the ball on the first tackle. A simple out ball. Girdler was able to get on the outside of Bowman. Sailor stayed with McDougall. Girdler showed the dummy. Good palm off there on Darren Smith. Gets across the line. I don't know whether that great start took the wind out of their sails. But gee whiz, after only a minute's play, Girdler, you can see Bowman wrong-footed. He went up on the inside of his man. Fittler threw the ball to the outside. Girdler now plays with Sailor. Turns back inside to see Smith come out of the scrum base. Gets him right in the face with a good fend. Plants it down. And after 1 minute of play, well, that's the only good moment for New South Wales in the first 40 minutes.
Yes, we had a centre crossing there for New South Wales. Wayne Bennett has always had a rap on Chris Walker, but he's tried to hold him back. Defensively, yes, there may be some deficiencies, but boy, can this guy finish. Lottie Takiri helped set it up, and they really attacked New South Wales down the short side with immediate results.
Lockyer did well before he hit the ground. Myers. Now, it is Takiri. Queensland are looking good. Walker's going for the corner. Queensland's in. They get their first try.
Yeah, very ordered defence out wide by the Blues. It's been the case on this side of the field all night. And Takiri and Walker have had a field day out there. And he's a player, an explosive player who's going to play many great Origins in the years to come. But Bradley Myers, look at that for a great pass. Strong tackle, going down to the tackle, just a little pop ball for Takiri, and he's really lifted tonight as well. Solid performances in the first two games. Outstanding tonight, Lottie Takiri.
Well, Chris Walker got across there after 10 minutes. It didn't take long for his centre partner, Paul Bowman, to also score. That was after 15 minutes, and this is how he did it.
Darren Smith. Now it is Bowman. Bowman's over. Did he drop the ball? He points to the spot. It's a try to Queensland.
Well, it was almost a play that Queensland thought of after it took place. Darren Smith, a pile of experience on board the bench. Seemed to be a little bit of a lack of communication go on. Bowman, I think you can put this try down to determination and embarrassment. The embarrassment, of course, of getting beaten earlier in the night by Ryan Girdler. He knew he had to come up with something. There wasn't a lot of organised attack going on there. The play didn't seem to be too well planned, but I suppose you score the majority of your tries in state football when they're unplanned. You've got to run and do your best through the best organised defence in the game.
Well, we've watched Alan Langer very closely tonight, and he has played the game so cleverly. He really has just shoveled the ball out when he's needed to. His kicking game has been absolutely superb. They got through to the fifth tackle on one occasion. He didn't kick, and New South Wales were caught out.
Reed. Langer steps and beats Gower. Gets it away for Wagon. Wagon away, and they're in again.
Well, wonderful work here from Alan Langer through the dummy. As I said in commentary, there's nothing that hurts a side more than to do all the hard work through to the fifth tackle and be scored upon. And Alan Langer seized the opportunity. They invited him to run the football. He got a great ball to Daniel Wagon, and Dane Carlaw, backing up as good back rowers do, was able to put the ball down. That was after 31 minutes, 10 to go. You thought the scoring might have finished, but Queensland, no. Chris Walker got across for his second.
Lockyer shaping to kick, now running, and he goes through the gap. He's into space with two to beat. Kicks ahead. Takiri's with him. The Maroons are in again. Walker.
Yes, and by this stage, New South Wales right-hand defence really struggling. Again, on the sixth tackle, the honesty factor wasn't there. Look at the skill of this. It was a left foot kick going through. And Johnny on the spot for a try. I think it was in the 32nd minute. Really kicked New South Wales in those two consecutive tries. And just look at him celebrate. Brad Fittler just going berserk there. He just can't believe what's going on. His last game of State of Origin, demanding some better defence there.
Well, he's got every right to speak to his players that way. You know, you've almost got to embarrass players into coming up with the goods.
I know exactly what he was saying. He was saying, keep yourself alive, be honest in defence. Now, twice on fifth tackle, once I went up on Langer too quickly. They assumed he was going to kick. As soon as you assumed he was gone, they went up and Lockyer made him run. The rest of the side dropped off. He kicks over the top and Walker scores. There's no honesty in this New South Wales defence.
Look, I've said they're gone, but I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see the Blues come back and show some ticker. You know, let's have a go from the Blues and make a game of this.
Yeah, well, I think Wayne Pearce has got to say that. He's got to go straight into his team and say, right, I want 6 forwards now. Put your hand up, who can go out and get us started, and that's where the second half's got to begin.
Well, some crazy things happen at State of Origin. Who knows? 28-8 at half-time, Queensland over the Blues, but still 40 to go. We'll take a break and be back with all the second half action.
We are coming to you from ANZ Stadium in Brisbane, where the Queenslanders are leading 28-8 in the State of Origin decider. Needless to say, a sombre New South Wales dressing room. 5 tries to 1 have been scored. 28-8 is the second biggest half-time lead in Origin history. And a touch of irony about it, 12 months ago, New South Wales beat Queensland 56-16. Queensland is exactly halfway there. As they come back, the Maroons, they would be so pumped up, so high, so elated. Some outstanding effort. Myers, Carlaw, Langer. Just an absolutely stunning performance in front of a capacity crowd at ANZ Stadium. Maroons go back. Will they pick it up where they left it? Or will the Blues find something? Lockyer, another outstanding performance.
And there you can see the match stats. 7-1 the line breaks. Kicks in general play even, but the kicking game has been better from Queensland. Plenty more tackles from New South Wales and plenty more missed ones. That's the big one. 17 up against 6. Too many errors and not enough football.
I know there are many league followers watching the telecast in parts of the United Kingdom. None would be happier than Patrick Rafter at the moment.
Perhaps Janine Langer.
Well done, Wall, thank you. Adamson takes it back hard. And that's what they need, more of that. Vella. Paul Vaughton, Peter Sterling and Wally Lewis. Different appearances on some of the faces of the aforementioned. The King is beaming. The fat man is smiling. And my offsider is looking a little bit downcast as Kamali kicks. It'll be play on for Kamali. Yeah.
Still the last tackle.
Menzies. Ryan did well. Fittler. It's gone backwards. Girdler had to get rid of it. Hughes the same. They're going backwards with the football. McDougall. Muir. Hughes. Dower. Walker. Not him again.
Well, look, that's almost comical.
I've never seen panic football like it. It's unbelievable. They actually kicked it back to where they took the first kick.
Doyle. Running off Lockyer. Chakiri. Langer. Webke. Carlaw. Dream effort from young Carlaw. Sivanasiva. This is the last. Alfie came off the feet. No knock on against Girdler. Girdler with a big run down the left side. Rounded up by Darren Smith. No support.
Ray, I said I don't know what Wayne Pearce would say at half-time. What I hope he said was that, look, we keep the opposition scoreless. We are capable of scoring at least 20 points. So we are not out of this game if we improve defensively and control the football. There are enough points in this football team to still win this game. Get your heads up.
Gower. Kimorley. Girdler. 23 metres away from the Queensland line. Kimorley again. Fittler. Drifting for Menzies. Kimorley. Kicking. There's a chance here for McDougall. Well taken, Saylor.
Penalty. Tackled in the air, Wendell Saylor by Adam McDougall.
Gee, my word, he read that well, Wendell. He planted himself there. He knew a kick was coming. And we saw Brad Fittler linking up with Steve Menzies there. I think we'll see a lot of that this half. They need points. Menzies can get them for them.
Whipkey. Sivanasiva. Players like Whipkey and Sivanasiva, you would expect big performances from them, but this young man, Myers, has had an outstanding game. Walker, likewise. Two-try hero. 4 in the series for Chris Walker. Sivanasiva. Second handle on this set. Langer. Ainscough. Weaving around Myers. Pulled down by Doyle and to Kerry. And the Blues are just inside their own 40-metre line. Gidley. Adamson. And the ball comes out. Well, did it come out? How did it get there to Gower? Anyway from Muir, it's gone to Fittler. Fittler to McDougall. McDougall up to the 20-metre line. Got the ball away. Girdler couldn't catch it. It travelled forward anyway.
Yeah, look, that ball, the play ball, just popped out and Bill Harrigan wasn't even watching. He was watching the defensive line. It's raked out. It actually should have been a penalty. And they just called play on. They all missed it.
Yeah, John Doyle definitely raked the ball out here. It's not the last tackle. You've still got to have some patience despite the scoreline. That pass really was never on.
Saylor. First play off the scrum. Myers the second. He just wants as much work as he can get. Myers. He might think he's getting paid by the yard. Carlo. Webke now. Ooh, Adamson might have gone up a bit high here.
And referee's got him. Matt Adamson trying to lift his team, trying to be a bit aggressive. There's been no aggression whatsoever from the Blues so far. Right around the neck.
So Lockyer finding the line 30 metres away from the New South Wales try line. Sivanasiva. Andrew is waiting with information from half-time. We'll go to him in just a moment. Webke taken down by Adamson. Webke has been hurt in the tackle. Myers. Kimorley low. Gidley over the top. And he lost the ball getting up. So now it's a penalty. Well, firstly I thought Harrigan was going to put a scrum down, but then he's taken some instruction from his touch judge. Queensland play on.
Yeah, holding up play. Shane Webke hasn't moved. He's struggling to get to his feet. There seems to be a problem with his right knee.
Well, let's hope nothing serious. He's had a few leg problems in recent years. I think more around the ankle area. This was the tackle that he was injured. Yeah, just quite the right knee, ankle, pulled back the wrong way. As Queensland go for the throat. Don't worry about kicking for goal. Let's put tries on.
On the line.
New South Wales trainer waved away out of the line. It's out to Langer. Dummies to Green. Comes to Lockyer. Lockyer to Darren Smith, and he's tackled 10 metres away from the line. Bowman. Langer again. Now Carlaw. 28-8. Langer. Carl Webb. From Doyle. Through to Langer. Now for Green. Just couldn't get the ball to Myers. Myers was in a gap. Carlaw. Langer. Little grubber kick. And Fletcher has won the race.
And has knocked on. One of those little boomerang kicks from Alp. He kicked it back to the inside, followed it up. Fletcher got there, and the referee's seen the tiniest of knock-ons by Brian Fletcher. Queensland feed only 10 metres out in front of the sticks.
Langer had to dig himself. Now Lockyer. Sailor. Looking for his second try ever in Origin football. Smith. Throws the dummy. Challenges the line. Doyle. Lovely pass. Langer. Lockyer. Langer dummies inside the Sibin receiver. Takes them on. Green. Kicking across to Sailor's wing. Sailor and McDougall.
The first knock on from Wendell Sailor. So it will be a New South Wales play the ball. Big deft kick there from Paul Green. What a contest between these two great combatants. And very noticeable also that Alan Langer starting to run the football a little bit more as Ainscough backs him out.
Weller. Kamali. Fletcher. Gower. Great discussion about how long Langer would play in this game. At the moment, it looks like he's going non-stop. And the scrum will go down. Just watching off the boot of Kamali. It was clean. And the scrum will pack 10 metres out from the Queensland line. Andrews back from the sheds, as I said, with some information at half-time.
Well, firstly, Ray, an update on Shane Webke. There's no definite news on whether he'll return. It's frustrating when you watch a bloke like Shane Webke, or frustrating for him when he comes off injured. He sort of brushed the doctor away. He was trying to make the examination of the right knee. He's just dirty that he hasn't stayed out there. Also, Queensland a change at half-time. Petro Sivanasiva on for Daniel Wagon. No injury to Wagon, though. He will return in this second half. From Wayne Bennett, basically the message at half-time was the job's not done. Just take it play by play. And from Wayne Pearce, he did have a reminder. We just have to get to a position where we can put some pressure on. We did put on 3 tries in 15 minutes in game 2, but we have to be faster in the defensive line, and we must work harder with the ball when we're coming out of our own half.
So Webke has got a problem, and now Wendell Sailor is in some pain, retiring away to his right wing. Play by Webb on halfway. Myers. It's like a robot. Lockyer. So a man with a shoulder injury. Is showing no wear from it. Bowman. It went forward off Bowman, but it's a penalty to New South Wales anyway.
Well, I'm not sure what Adam McDougall was doing there. I think that he was hoping that Mark Hughes would come in and catch it, but there's no doubt it was McDougall's ball on the full. Nice kick from Darren Lockyer. Again, a torpedo punt swirling around in the breeze. Ball coming towards Adam McDougall, and only bounces a metre or two away from him. A bit fortunate again that Bowman gave away the penalty.
held there by Campion and Smith. Players on the halfway line for Muir. Hughes. No change to the half-time scoreboard, 28-8. Fittler. Now that might have been knocked down by John Doyle. Doyle's away with the ball. Now it's Campion. Now it's Takiri. Queensland on the surge again. Lockyer. Langer. Smith. Bowman. Good tackle by McDougall. Lockyer. Carlo. Doyle. Webb. A try in Origin 1 on debut. Langer. Danger. Danger. Langer's over. Is he? Yes. Langer gets a try. Capping a magnificent game.
Well, the crowd have been completely satisfied here for 54 minutes, apart from Alan Langer scoring. Well, now they can go home absolutely delighted because the little bloke has ducked under a tackle. Had no room whatsoever to move. This was how Queensland got the football. An inside ball. Yes, it came off John Doyle's hand, but he wasn't playing at it, so he really has every right to pick the ball up. And then in the next set of 6, look, there's nothing on there. Just really poor defence, ducking under the tackle of Michael Vella. His head goes down. He knows that it's a very, very ordinary attempt.
Yeah, how good's this? Alan Langer had some critics. Wayne Bennett had some critics. That just answered them. The little fella. He's done it. And the crowd here, they went off. They went up as one as he put that ball down.
Now look, Ray, I thought that he might only be out here for maybe 2/3 of the game, but the way that he's played this evening, he'll go the duration. He has really, I'm not saying he's paced himself, but he's played within himself on occasion. When he's needed to put the foot down, he has done. His kicking game has been absolutely superb. There's no reason he won't play 80 minutes, especially with the scoreline.
Lockyer's kick. Wide. Alan Langer gets his 10th Origin try, extending to 32-8 the lead.
It can happen at any time. You're building a bridge or moving a fridge and you feel like you're just gonna burst. You sure got a thirst. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. You're shoveling sand or building a dam. You can get it any old how. Matter of fact, I got it now. Victoria Bitter.
As you come back to us, Carl Webb comes back from the Queensland line, and now Sivanasiva. I mentioned to you earlier that 6 deciders had been played in Brisbane, and Queensland had won 5. That was a daunting statistic, wasn't it? And only 3 sides have lost Origin 1 to come back and win a series. That also, again, is ringing loud in my ears.
I do love statistics, Ray. I think that they don't happen by a fluke. And the other statistic, of course, that we always mention is a big tackle on McDougall. 15 times out of the 19 best-of-3 series, the team that has won the first game has gone on to take out the 3-match series, and this will be number 16. So that first game is oh so important.
O'Mealy. Kamali. Fletcher. Menzies. Vella. Fletcher. Gower. Busy. Ainscough. Vella. Kamali. Girdler. Girdler. Well, from Muir into Langer. Lovely play that was by Girdler. He left everybody guessing. Now Wendell leaves everybody grasping. Bar Hughes. Lockyer.
I'll tell you what, Ray, I can't speak highly enough of Mark Hughes' first ever series. He has done absolutely nothing wrong. He came into this game with a bit of a neck and back problem. Queensland have given him a workout, and he just keeps coming back for more. He can hold his head high for his three-match performance.
Myers. Langer. Correction, Lockyer. Kicking. Walker's after it. Taken by Hughes under pressure. Chris Walker charging down on him. Now McDougall. He's been solid. Appropriate. That incident would come just after Peter was putting his assessment on Mark Hughes. Kamali. Fletcher. Hasn't it been an intriguing series? Gower. Chance down the right side. It went behind Ainsko.
For mine, looks like the Blues are playing touch. Queensland's playing tackle. Some desperation passes being thrown out there, which you've got to do, mind you, when you're 24 behind with just over 20 to go. Wendell Sailor's played a great game tonight. He's quite often been his own harshest critic at State of Origin level. He wants to finish his Origin career on a great note. He's only got one try in 13 games. He'll be looking for number 2 in the last 20 minutes.
This is Bowman. Penalty goes to the Queenslanders.
Wendell will score. Everything else has come to fruition. If I could get on, I would get on Wendell Sailor in the last 20 to score a try. Can I get on anyway?
Campion. Campion with a fend. Campion for the line. Pulled down a couple short. Doyle. Langer. Webb. Lockyer. Long pass. Bowman. Bowman's over. Bowman gets a second. It's a mutilation.
This will be one of the greatest ever Queensland victories in a deciding game. They now lead by 28. Kevin Campion waltzes through. Look at this for State of Origin defence. It's not existent. Players grasping. No shoulders whatsoever. He nearly scored. They found a chance out on the right-hand side of the field. And Paul Bowman, he scored a great try in the first half with a big right foot step. Look at the space out here, but there's still 2 on 2. Look at this for a right foot step. Bang, bang. Bittler had come over too quickly. Great stuff by Paul Bowman.
Yeah, it's good to see from Paul Bowman, isn't it? He's a bit of an unsung hero. He's a quiet achiever. He probably saves 2 or 3 tries with the kind of game that he plays. But tonight we've seen his full attacking array, been very good on his feet. He's a big man. He's actually deceptively big. And the big fend on Mark O'Mealy is good enough to take him across as well. They might declare shortly.
Lockyer. 10 in, 21 out. And just away to the right of the uprights. It is 36-8, Queensland over New South Wales.
Glen 20 presents the facts of life. Fact, a child who shares nothing will share the cold and flu bug. Fact, Glen 20 kills germs, including the cold and flu bug. Glen 20, one spray helps keep the doctor away.
Buy low Dinkum dollars means Dinkum savings.
200 pack Purex facial tissues.
$1.
250 grams Sunshine Cream biscuits.
3 for $2.
Buy low.
Extra value for you.
As we welcome you back to ANZ Stadium, the wide world of sports, and the decider from ANZ Stadium. As we have a Queenslander, Brad Myers, hurt, bringing the ball back from the kickoff. They've already lost Shane Webke. A decider that I think most people were hoping would be going right down to the wire. This is how Myers got hurt.
Well, I said, wait for the whistle. If you're not right, don't play the ball.
So Sivanasiva. 7 tries to 1. That's at an embarrassing level, isn't it, for New South Wales? I'm reminded that Queensland's biggest win over the Blues was 36-6 back in 1986.
Well, let's not forget that New South Wales scored their only try after 1 minute. So it's been a barren run.
89 that was, not 86. It was upside down. Thank you, Guru. You're welcome. Fittler away for Gidley to the 10-metre line. And a couple of the Maroons pull him to ground. Fittler, Stevens, Campion and Smith. He's toiled hard, Darren Smith. Fittler, long ball for Kamali. Cut out pass finding Hughes. And then a flick pass away on the outside for Ainsko. Kamali. O'Mealy. Not that anybody's had a big impact on this game with the blue jumper on, but O'Mealy hasn't scaled the heights that he did in State of Origin 2. Here they go now. They're going in. Girdler gets his second try. And the Blues supporters at last have got something to cheer about.
Yeah, all 26 of them that are here at ANZ Stadium, plus, of course, all their fans watching throughout New South Wales. Some good stuff by Brett Kamali. Nice ball. That was good hands there. Queensland just didn't have enough defenders, didn't read it that well. They all raced in to try and cut it off quickly, but they couldn't do it. The hands always beat the man. Lovely ball that from Brad Fittler. Equally as good, this one from Jason Stevens lurking out wide. And Ryan Girdler finishes it off nice. And Queensland won't be happy with that. And Wayne Bennett in particular, know how he thinks. He'll be filthy. He won't want to let New South Wales get any snip at all.
One of those very rare occasions that they just didn't have enough numbers in defence, and when the outside men realised that, they tried to go in and snuff the play out, but the New South Wales players had enough space to keep the ball alive. Not often you look back on a State of Origin game where you've scored a couple of tries with anything but fond memories. Unfortunately for Ryan Girdler, that will be the case with this game as he prepares to convert once again.
And on its way, looking good. Girdler converts his second try. Sadly, it's also New South Wales' second try. 36-14, Andrew.
Yeah, Ray, for Ryan Girdler, it must feel an awful long time since Game 3 last year. You remember back at Stadium Australia in that third game of the series last year, 3 tries and 10 goals for 32 points. His points tonight aren't really going to count a whole lot on the scoreboard, 36-14. Look, now we start to have to focus on the Australian side. If an Australian side was picked tonight, and there will be one picked in around about 7 days for the one-off test against the Kiwis, we could be looking at blokes like Myers, Sivanasiva and Buttigieg. What about the Australian number 7, fellas? Can Alan Langer play another match?
Well, it'll be interesting whether or not they would consider him.
I think Andrew Johnson might have something to say about that.
Here's Fittler. Hughes. Stevens. Prentice. Short ball. Vella into space.
Again, they've got numbers to the right if they can move it quickly.
Fittler finding Kamali. Chance for Fletcher. Losing the ball.
Second time in this series he's dropped the football over the line, Brian Fletcher.
Yeah, Brett Kamali claiming he was filthy. He claimed that it was knocked out. Let's have a look. Wagon holding on to him. Takiri comes in.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. He was trying to make the tackle.
What a gig. Wagon. 12 minutes of the game remaining. And 36 points to 14 the score. Green scurrying his way to 43 metres out from the Blues line. Lockyer punching that kick down into vacant space. Hughes. Tackled by Walker and then raking it over the touching goal.
We've got the Goodwill Games up here shortly, covered by Channel 9. Maybe this bloke should have a run. He has got electric speed. Mark Hughes probably had to cover half as much distance, and he is not slow. And Chris Walker, blinding. Chasing his third. Hughes again just there in time to put the ball over the sideline.
Yeah, the only other player that I can remember had that sort of speed at the origin level was Dale Shearer for Queensland. He could run like that. And Chris Walker carrying on the tradition. Good player. Here goes Wendell. He's looking for number 2 in his 14-game career.
Lockyer finding Walker. Now to Carey. Offloading to Buttigieg. Buttigieg. Green. Langer. Dummies on the inside. Takes the tackle.
Oh, the inside man got creamed as well. He's still down. It's Darren Lockyer.
And I think one of the Blues down as well. I'm not sure if it was a head clash or what, but O'Mealy went down. Alf's got the ball looking for an inside man. Oh, it was a high tackle.
A sandwich.
And he certainly got crunched. It's O'Mealy over the top. He might have collected the shoulder of Muir. But he's up and back into him, jogging back to position now.
Number 12. And 10. Which one? Both gone high? You've gone up high. I'm going to put on the report. Right. No, on the report.
Well, Bill Harrigan got a call from his touch judge there, who picked out the 10 and the 12. Both Mark O'Mealy and Adam Muir have been placed on report for a high tackle. Penalty awarded.
So Wagon. I'm wondering where he got his information from. Lockyer for Buttigieg. Almost as though somebody's watched it on the video and then told Bill Harrigan their interpretation of it, which they relayed. Now it's Langer. Now it's Carl Webb. 10 metres out from the Blues line. 36 points to 14. Langer to Smith. Banged down eventually by Menzies. Menzies takes the ball. O'Mealy. Gidley. Pulled down by Takiri. In no uncertain fashion. Menzies. Prolific try scorer in his career. Muir taking a buffeting there from Darren Smith. Kamali had it. Lost it. Penalty goes to the Blues.
There's plate advantage here. Will Harrigan. New South Wales lost the football. That nullified any advantage. So they will take the tap. 38 out.
Stevens, 9-5 the penalty count in favour of Queensland. Kamali, Fiddler. Wide for Gidley. Ainscough with no room. Menzies. Ainscough. O'Mealy. Leaving it behind. Smith, who I mentioned earlier, has been prominent all night long as Doyle prepares for another stint.
And look, we waxed lyrical about the performance of Mark O'Mealy in game 2. He's had a shocker tonight, and that's not good to see, but he'll bounce back. Tonight was a big test for him. He's shown enough at club level that he's going to be tough enough to play. He just needs to improve a few areas of his game, and this experience will actually be a good thing for him, not a negative. He'll learn plenty.
Langer pushing it wide and quickly. Webb striding out down to the 20. Lockyer's there. Lockyer goes in. Lockyer scores again. Try number 8. 40 points to 40.
And it wasn't that long ago that Darren Lockyer was lying down after being crunched by 2 New South Wales defenders. Well, he's recovered enough to back up for 60 metres to score another one. A strong charge here, straight through the tackle of Ryan Girdler. Bang, gets rid of Girdler. Support coming up in Carl Webb. And he finds Darren Lockyer. The forwards and the backs have combined beautifully tonight.
Well, Wayne Bennett said after that second game, I was in the dressing room, he said, look, we'll learn more out of that loss than we will the first win that we had. And they've done that. Carl Webb, he's had a great... Well, he's probably only been on there about half an hour all night. He's had a great half hour. Look at his running style there. He's carrying a little bit of put around the lummox, but he got through to the defence quite easily, and Darren Lockyer backing up on the inside. Gutsy, courageous Darren Lockyer.
A bit of put around the lummox.
And they've learnt, and they've learnt well.
What a performance in this series from Darren Lockyer. There goes the kick, and again, it's out in front of the uprights. He's got to be the player of the series. 40 points to 14, Andrew.
And I was watching when Carl Webb makes this bust. Shane Webke's on the bench, and he's had a lot to do with the upbringing of Carl Webb at the Brisbane Broncos, really taking him under his wing. I don't know whether Shane Webke's got a knee problem anymore. He could have just about competed the high jump at the Goodwill Games. He got up that high. And Darren Lockyer, he's the young veteran when it comes to Origin football. But Carlos Webb, won't he remember the Origin series, his first ever?
Talking about the Queensland bench and the number of times they've done the leap into the air. They've scored 8 tries. They've been up 8 times, and Choppy Close stopped going up after the second try.
He's tried to get up a few more times, but just wasn't there. Ray, the other bloke that I want to give a big rap to, and it's a funny game, rugby league, just the highs and lows of it. Paul Green, in his Cronulla days, was putting pressure on Alan Langer in his prime for a State of Origin spot. Went to North Queensland, into oblivion, basically. Major problems up there, was basically kicked out from the club, joined the Roosters, and he has been outstanding for Queensland during this series. Given an opportunity, a lot of pressure on him. He has really risen to the occasion. Plenty of character in Paul Green.
Doyle. Just short of 50,000 people here tonight, the official crowd figure coming through. As Lockyer puts this kick down to the New South Wales goalpost. 49,441 to be precise. And that would be the biggest crowd, Origin crowd in Brisbane. Previously at Suncorp, 40,665 in 1994. So they've broken it by 9,000. And 50,000 apparently is the capacity here at ANZ. Those 58,000s that were attracted by St George and the Gold Coast. They had extra seating down on the athletic track area apparently. Langer across for Myers. Well, this fairy tale, and really that's what it borders on with Alan Langer, has given him the rightful exit. And I'm taking it that he won't be back anymore. But it has given him the rightful exit that he deserves. Somebody once said, what is a legend? Just watching this. And it certainly got some help from Steve Menzies, didn't it? But what is a legend? Well, Alan Langer is a legend.
I just wonder whether that was part of the reasoning by Wayne Bennett. You know, they needed something like Alan Langer after game 2. But I'm sure that Wayne Bennett would have been just as disappointed for Alan Langer the way he went out. I think his last game was against North Queensland after, 8 or 9 rounds in 1999. I reckon Wayne Bennett probably thought about that as well in bringing him across as McDougall. No, in fact, Ainscough steps back inside.
It was all a bit iffy. It finished up, though, with Ainscough. Now Kamali. Fletcher. "12 metres out now from the Queensland line. Prittis. Fittler gets the pass away. Ainscough for the corner, lost the ball.
And that is just so typical of New South Wales night. A chance to score a late try. And look at this for defence. Chris Walker. Crash bang wallop. And Ainscough loses the football.
Well, Wendell, you've got 2.5 minutes. Who said that Chris Walker had defensive problems?
Walker. Green.
Talk about Paul Green, Pete. He was actually, there's a leaked document came and he was put on a list never to be picked again for Queensland earlier in the year. Reported in a newspaper. Well, he's played 3 terrific games for the Maroons in this series. So many heroes out there for the Queensland side tonight.
Finding the line. And again it smiles all round. Coach included. As opposed to that look of doom and gloom at the New South Wales bench. Peter Chegwin there shaking hands with Wayne Bennett. Peter, of course, the chairman of the Broncos. They really smacked the Blues over at Suncorp Stadium with Gordon Tallis. They went to Sydney without him. The Blues served notice that it was going to be a tight series. Then they lost Trent Barrett. And they came back to ANZ Stadium. But they really haven't represented a challenge to this Queensland side inspired by Alan Langer. Kamali. Hughes making numbers. Adamson. 8 tries to 2. Here are the final seconds. Out on the full. Queensland has won the Harvey Norman Series for 2001 with a resounding victory. A sad night for Brad Fittler, but an ecstatic night for Queensland and for Queensland Rugby League, in particular their coach who equalled Arthur Beetson's coaching record tonight, particularly for Alan Langer, Wendell Saylor, and probably Darren Smith. What a night. What a build-up. What a player. The little legend, Alan Langer, has come back. No break. We were thinking 40, 50 minutes. He played a hell of a lot longer than that, didn't he? Paced himself, guided them round the park. And young players rose to his motivation. Paul Harrigan is with Brad Fittler. Let's go to him now.
Yeah, thanks very much, Freddie. Thanks very much for talking to us. Obviously disappointed, but you got a good start to the game and things just seem to drop straight off.
Yeah, we gave up plenty of ball in the first half, and it was just a bit hard to get back, and it was always going to be tough out here in front of this crowd to get back from that start. So, yeah, first half was really ordinary. Sort of similar to the first game.
Yeah, the first game was Queensland won on emotion. It seemed tonight that Alfie helped again with the emotion factor.
Yeah, he played great. The whole ball thing, but it's been the dominant factor in all three games. Whoever's had the most ball and dominating defence, and that's won the game fairly easily. So they played great. Alfie was great. It was good to see him back.
Okay, Freddie, thanks very much. On behalf of everyone watching tonight, wonderful representative career. Well done. Thank you.
Brad Fittler. Let's go to Wally. He's with Alfie Langer.
Well, Alf, I suppose it's easy to say welcome back. It doesn't seem like you've ever been away.
No, it doesn't feel like it tonight. What a fantastic night. It's just a dream come true, and this is probably the best day of my life.
You said to a dream come true. I suppose it started when you were informed about your selection in the team. It must have been over the moon straight away.
Yeah, well, that's right. The last 2 weeks has just been a fairy tale, but now it's come to a great end, and just these blokes, it's great to come back and play with them, and especially with Wayne Bennett coaching.
Well, you've got a long association with Benny. Obviously, he put you into that spot to do a particular job, steer the blokes around the park and give them a little bit of confidence. There's some great youngsters.
It's brewing with confidence now, and the blokes I play with, I'd never ever thought I'd play with them again. I've been watching them on TV for 2 years, and just for Benny to do that, I had to repay him tonight, and hopefully I did that.
Mate, we better let you get to the victory celebrations, but you're obviously going to get hit with the question next year, and what about Test football?
That's for me, mate. That's a great end. Thanks, Gator.
Thanks, Al.
He's happy with it. So is Wayne Bennett, by the way, looking at some of the pictures, as the chief is now with Mark Hughes.
Mark Hughes, you would be shattered, but just to be involved with this series, you've had a good series. It must be a highlight in your career.
No doubt about it, Chief. It's been a highlight in my career to be involved in the series. We got 1-1 and we come up here with high expectations, and Queensland's credit, they played really well.
What about expectations? Alfie Langer, the best in the game at short kicking game, the long kicking game. He really peppered you tonight. Was it what you expected?
Yeah, he's an old craftsman, I guess. He knows what to do. He's done it before, and he lifted the team today and played really well.
Well, congratulations. You had a solid series, and mate, bad luck.
Yeah, thanks, Chief.
Mark Hughes, and there is Wayne Bennett with Alan Langer. They put this together. It was constructed after State of Origin 2, and Wayne said, "How are you feeling? Can you do me one big last favour?" Now Wally is with Wendell Saylor and Darren Lockyer. Let's go to them.
Well, Wendell, what a way to finish your career, rugby league career, a victorious note on your home ground.
Yeah, Wally, it's great. Mate, Alan Langer is just full respect for him. The way he got the boys together all week, and it was just a pleasure to play Origin, and I can't believe we could play like that in the last game, but I'm just happy that I played with Alan Langer again, and these young blokes are tremendous.
Now, Alf said it was all about giving these young blokes a little bit of confidence. You obviously had to play a huge part in that as well. Some tidy young footballers here. All they needed was a little bit of experience and some belief.
Certainly, Wally. Alf knows how to push everybody's buttons. He knows how to get you going, and at the start of the week, he just said something to me, and I just knew that I wanted to play this week, and full credit to Wayne Bennett, I think, too, for knowing to get Alf back.
Now, mate, everyone could see just how itchy you were to try and grab a try in that last game. You're all over the shop. I suppose you wouldn't mind just brushing that aside just to remain as a part of a victorious side, especially celebrating Alf's return.
Yeah, certainly, Wally. It was just great to win, and, Freddie Fittler's been great for New South Wales, but it was just great to get in the winning note.
All right, mate, congratulations and good luck.
Thanks, I'll thank the Queensland fans and all the Australian rugby league supporters.
Wendell Saylor, interviewed there by Wally Lewis. The Queenslanders going over to the Eastern Grandstand. Absolutely a capacity crowd. just short of 50,000 to record crowds of State of Origin in Queensland. And the fans, very few of them have left ANZ Stadium. Magnificent sight, keeping in mind the dramas